Judging, in so many words, it just means balancing out. Balancing out. Bringing two forces together and balancing them. In our body, the central staff that balances out all of these latent energies in our body that we call our spiritual self or our soul, has one central balancing system that shoots up the spine, which is called a kundalini force, which is represented in ancient cultures as the staff of Tahuti, the staff of Moses. Moses takes the staff and parts the Red Sea. The Red Sea is the blood vessels that surrounds the spinal system. You see, it's 32 vertebrae in the spine, 32 degrees, and 33 degrees, which is which would be the final one in Western Masonic aspect. All of this stuff is talking about a balancing that's going on in the body, which is recorded as a balance that should go on in society. As within, so without. As above, so below. That's what balance is. You see.
While we're on this, Bobby, I think it's a good place to segue into looking at the spiritual essence of Kemetic Egypt and how that was reflected in everyday life, in social life, in values, in morality, in the ability to accomplish the things like healing and purity. So what did they represent?
Okay. And then we're going to go into that in a few seconds. Aspect of ancient Kemet. We must understand what did they know about their remote history, and what about that remote history that they knew about that would give them the insight in the spirituality to produce a practice and produce various ways of spirituality and scientific ways of looking at things, a research in trying to find out what is needed to be done to get to a higher spiritual level. What was it in their remote past, that brought them to these conclusions? Apparently, these are the most illumined people on earth. And they were the most illumined people on earth because they knew something generally about where they came from and how they got to where they were and basically where they were going. And all the stuff in between is the process and the steps that they took to ensure themselves the final solution. So in order to understand that, we must understand the beginning. The Egyptian beginning or the Kamite beginning, in so many words, to cut through all of the different aspects of ideology, in so many words, they understood that there used to be another primordial entity that somehow was thrust into a new reality of physical existence. And that primordial entity woke up one day and found itself to be human and having a human experience in a new situation that is totally different than the prior situation of the divine, and to put it in so many words, the prior situation of being gods, omnipotent beings. So that's a hell of a information and a blueprint to start off with that would make you superior in a sense that you know that you were these advanced beings that one day was shifted into a new paradigm of human existence. That's what the Camite and Egyptians knew. That they were shifted into a new paradigm of human existence. And number two, they had to live out this human existence of several eons. Only to come to the final solution or the final metamorphosis or manifestation back into the original aspect, but not necessarily the same. It's the concept of a caterpillar going into a cocoon and becoming a butterfly. The caterpillar was the original larva of creation. The human is the cocoon stage of something that is not finished. I don't care how much of human civilization we go through. It is always in the process of becoming the butterfly, which is a metamorphosized caterpillar, god, cocoon stage human. Butterfly represents the finished product. In Egypt, you always saw this scarab. Let me see if I got my ring. This scarab. This scarab, which represents dormancy, will one day grow into the winged beetle Kephra. Kephra, which is the finished product. But as long as you have these two principles in ancient Kemet, it means that humanity is never going to be the final stage. We can never go back to kindergarten, no matter how advanced we thought it was. We have to become something new. This is the fundamental and central to all world mythology and all world religions. In Christianity, we call it the Christ. That is a metamorphosis. In ancient Egypt, the central royal art, or what you would call the highest mystery that goes beyond worshiping the gods, the highest mystery was what these gods were composed of. What were the energies? What is this energy, this substance, these compounds, these elixirs that later day mythology calls the gods. What is this force? And that's where the royal art of ancient Egypt, which is the highest form of any spiritual science on the planet, is that of alchemy, which is the study of the breakdown of the particles in the universe and the particles in man. As above, so below.